most recent one, Flip and Saren and Tanberg, which was just a week and a half ago, announced all three of them are above my expectations already and doing well. And when you look at that, that's almost impossible to replicate. The only other company that probably acquires well in the industry is probably Oracle. And I think Safra Katz would tell you she modeled after Cisco. 70% of our acquisitions hit or exceeded what we told our peers would do. So if it's made on technology architecture, if it's made on business architecture, if innovation is doing it yourself with really leading edge products in number one position, moving into new markets, if it's about being able to acquire and doing 137 of them and 70% hitting or exceeding what we did before, and if it's about strategically partnering with an EMC and a VMware, and yet still having a partner agreement for VMware to work with IBM and HP and others, and Cisco to work with NetApps and others, that's an innovation engine that's hard to match. So bottom line, I think there's always interest about each time we enter a market, what does this mean? And as we move into consumer or security or data center, a lot of interest around it. We compete on market transitions. And if you watch our track record, every time we've been in a market, we've become the #1 player. So that's probably why both the press and some of our peers get a little bit excited when we enter the market. Yes.
How could you make them work simultaneously with these market conditions? Because there are potential.
Yes. So the exciting part is this is not something we started on the last year or two. We started on the organization structure back in 2001 about a different organization structure, moving command and control, collaboration, and teamwork. And that, I think, is more the model of the future. Our children do it automatically. But we added a lot of process and discipline to it, and we did it one at a time, then two, then four. And the ability then to say, how do you get common business practices? And we got lucky. Our technology really enables it. And as you begin to do this, you cannot do 1 or 2 priorities a year like we used to do. We learned how to do 5, then 10, and currently in excess of 70 different groups working on this. And when you see a demo today, it will probably have 14 different business units, 3 or 4 councils, 7 or 8 boards, working groups on it, and it's almost seamlessly, you looking at it, very complex to be able to do. So I think this positioned us for where the future of the industry would be. And we did it not because I wanted to move out of command and control. I actually like that a lot. I mean, it is powerful to say turn right and 67,000 people turn right. We're one of the few companies in the world that can do that. But the real power of the future is the network is going to be the platform for almost all forms of IT and communications. That's an opportunity for us and our partners that is very unique. But you've got to have a process that's based on speed, then scale, then the ability to have flexibility in it, and then to replicate it like a cookie cutter. So right now, the exciting thing is versus a year ago, a lot of people a year ago were questioning would this organization structure work, would these boards and councils work, how would we integrate with their partners, and what you're seeing is the opportunities are opening up very well for us. Think of it, a $40 billion company, approximately in terms of our run rate, and the ability to say that a B job is growing 12 to 17% with all the appropriate caveats over the next 5 to 10 years, and driving productivity at 10% a year because of this capability. So it's starting to really gain traction, and I think people are getting it both in business and in government. So it's moved across the chasm in terms of really working well. That's how I answer the question. Is it complex? Yes. The key is to ask our partners to not make it complex to the customers, and to really say, here's how we implement it in a way that makes it simple for the customers to achieve their goals. Thanks.
Daniela from ING Brazil.
Yes.
In Brazil, we have a broadband plan, national broadband plan going on, and in a hybrid model with government and private companies working together. And here, you also have a
National
plan.
broadband.
This is a big issue there. So I'd like to know how Cisco is involved on those plans, and which is your vision about it.
Sure. If you look, it's fascinating. Regardless of whether you're talking developed countries or developing countries, more and more the government leaders are understanding that the future of their country, on everything from productivity to job creation to education to healthcare to creating new industries to attracting global multinationals, will be based around the infrastructure of the future, which is broadband. And the way that we approach it, whether it's in the U.S., and I think whether it would be talking to the chairman of the FCC here, or talking to people like Robert Pepper, who was prior FCC, who goes around on a exchange basis out of our government affairs groups and talks with almost every regulator in the world on a regular basis. We paint a common picture of what you're trying to accomplish. And once you paint your vision, and that's why we always start with vision, what do you want to be 10 years out? What's your differentiated strategy 2 to 4 years? Then it's very easy to say what you should be executing on the next 12 months. So I think when you look around the world, we're probably the top company that most people think about, both on what should our vision be, how do we do it, and how do we partner. So for example, in India with Prime Minister Singh just a month ago, we were talking about many topics, and these are two that he said would be fine to share with others. We looked at out-of-box thinking about how could you bring healthcare to every citizen in India, enabled by broadband, but bring it perhaps at a cost of $1 per visit. I mean, that's impossible, except that there's 1 billion people. And with broadband and the right combination of public-private partnerships, that might be doable. How do you change education for not the top 300 or 400 million people in the country, but the 800 million who, when the young people attend class 40% of the time, there's not even a teacher in the class on a given day? How do you use broadband to enable a different way of education and implementation, and perhaps at $1 per month in terms of the ingredients? You know where I'm headed with this. We tend to think of a vision for a country transformation, and more country leaders in San Francisco could be their partner there. We also believe it goes hand in hand with government affairs. What regulatory issues you need, intellectual property issues, how do you create a level playing field so both sides win? And it goes hand in hand with corporate social responsibility. We've won almost every award around the world on corporate social responsibility, from government, from business, from the private sector, etc. And we have corporate social responsibility plans that also match what we do in each of the countries. So to answer your question, Brazil may be our fourth or fifth major emerging market that we focused on. We focused on all of them, but we went China first, then which went very well for us, then India, which was going even better for us. Then we went to Mexico at a time the economies were very tough. We do exactly what we tell everyone we do during economic downturns. You get closer to the ones that are having the toughest time. You don't pull away. So we come out of this economic downturn closer to the automotive companies than we've ever done. We are the preferred technology partner as well as the business partner with almost every major automotive company around the world, the Fords, the GMs, the Toyotas of the world in thinking. And at the time we found a very firm working relationship with Mexico, probably during their toughest economic time basing in their lifetime as well. So it gives you an idea how we think. Very likely, if we can get the right working relationships with government, and if they truly want us to partner effectively, you just see Brazil be the next major push for that. Yes.
Hi John, Joe Maitland with Tech Targets.
Like,
So can partners make more margin selling Cisco data center gears than
if you look at where we will make margins as a company, it's not delivering commodity product just install. It's your ability to have transformational change that both will have a premium in the product and a premium in the services that you bring and a willingness to partner deeply in a sustainable way with companies. We have won, I think, every major partner survey since I've been the CEO at Cisco in terms of #1, in terms of partner customer satisfaction. And partnering is a part of our DNA, that we partner together with our partners across all accounts. We don't have those that we exclude them from. And it's built into our programs as we talk about country transformation. It's what is our partner strategy, etc. We spend a huge amount of time on programs and directions. And in the entire time when we do partner conferences, I'm not only here the whole time, my senior team is here the whole time. It's a nice way of saying for many companies, partnering is kind of an adjunct or something they're focused on recently. We do it architecturally across the board. We've done it